Hi, I'm Craig Nizick of the agency. I'm delighted to be here at 3928 Hayvenhurst, my new listing that I share with my esteemed colleague, Nikki Joel. A couple of years ago, she had the opportunity to tour the property with acclaimed designer developer Joe Comartin, and they talked about his vision of how he would utterly transform this place. And now you get the opportunity to see how Joe beautifully executed his remarkable vision.
Joe, here we are, 16 months later at 3928 Hayvenhurst. I can't believe, no more masks, house that has been incredibly transformed, far beyond my wildest imagination. I always knew how talented you were, but this is a masterpiece. Tell me.
That's so nice. Thank you, Nikki. Yes, you're right. 16 months ago we started, and this house was an absolute beast. It was bulky, it was dark,
it was Tudor.
Heavy. It was an English Tudor with big dark timberine, dark red brick. And my feeling was then, and continues to be today, that while that English Tudor style had its moment in the 80s and 90s when it was attractive to the family market, today people want something a lot lighter, brighter, fresher. They want better connections to the outside, to the garden spaces, and they want a lot of natural light throughout the house. So we replaced all the doors and windows. We updated the elevation to a shingled siding with flares, a very much sort of an East Coast Hamptons Manse style.
Rhode Island, New England.
Sort of seaside home.
I love the sage that you did.
Thanks.
I mean, the color palette is so beautiful and gracious the way it turned out, the way it kind of marries with the white brick and the blonde shingle and the green. How did you come up with that idea? Why did you put that pop of color?
I just wanted a little something. I mean, we have a lot of colonial details. There is a lot of white. I do like how the blonde shingle kind of, brings a little bit of warmth to the otherwise kind of white elevation.
Super inviting.
But I didn't want to, to have it to be just completely sterile. There are a lot of white homes that just feel a little bit stark.
Super
so I thought
derivative.
It was just something a little bit of personality, brings in a little bit of the garden color onto the building.
I guess what I appreciate most about it is it made it super inviting and super memorable.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it as well. This house has, the rooms have a tremendous scale.
Yep.
They're very well placed. We knew that we had a lot of good things to work with, but what we needed was new surfaces. We needed new floors. We needed new windows. We needed some additional details throughout the house in terms of trim carpentry and things of that nature.
What is great about this house is you have the bells and whistles of the new homes, but you have the emotional element and then the character that many people are looking for. Some of these things that this house didn't have that you included now in this finished product.
Absolutely. I think what's neat about this house is it's very difficult to find an older home with a lot of charm, character, and architectural details. What we do have is tremendous formal spaces that are very well detailed and very traditional.
So on that note, instead of just talking about it, I think we should take everybody in so we could see all the amazing things that we're talking about. Let's do it. So Joe, the formal living room space, what I appreciate most about it is that it's kind of connected to the dining room, so it makes sense for entertaining, kind of like a progressive moment. And I really love what you've done, especially with the fireplace and the mantle.
Yeah, it is. This is a great, very gracious room. The step-down living room really kind of sets it aside from the rest of the house, gives you a little bit more ceiling height inside the room. This room really was quite beautiful.
I agree. So let's go into the dining room.
Yeah. Over here, again, similar updates. We wanted to maintain a lot of the period details that were here, but dial it back a little bit. There was a lot of sort of applique, plaster, and that sort of thing that we wanted to kind of pull back from and get a little more restrained.
But in my opinion, you did keep those elements which make the room interesting. And what I really appreciate in the house throughout, which everybody will see, your choice of light fixtures are incredible. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is beautiful.
Thanks.
This is super unique with the way it hangs down and the gold.
The hand-blown glass with the horsehair tassels is amazing. It's just a nice update.
So let's keep going. So Joe, the office was always super cool because it had these incredible built-ins and this like really high ceilings. I am obsessed with this extra glossy navy blue almost.
Yeah, it's sort of a blue-black color.
Wonderful.
But you're right, this is a dramatic space. I mean, the ceilings in here are about 16 feet, has this coffered ceiling detail across the top. Definitely period details. They're details that you just don't see built in new construction.
Look at this
today.
Window when you can turn around and look outside,
Yeah,
which
the
is
full
nice.
double height window. It just needed an update.
Amazing.
So we did that, some new marble.
And I love the ladder in here as well.
Yeah. So Nikki, this is where I think this home has seen the biggest
100%,
transformation.
100%.
The kitchen great room in this home is absolutely the heartbeat of this property. This house this area in particular was very dark and enclosed with limited access to the pool and garden. And so what we've done is introduced a multi-slide door that opens to 15 feet by 9.5 clear right into the backyard. In the kitchen, you have an accordion window with a counter surface to the outside. It lets lots of light in while you're just inside using the space. If you want to serve hot dogs to the kids when they get out of the pool, you have a serving counter for it.
Similar to the accordion window over the sink and the door, you actually did it with the bar.
Right.
So people can go kind of in and out, grab their cocktail. It was amazing.
Yeah, we do have that same seamless connection from the family room out. It really integrates the use of this indoor space with whatever activities you might be having or parties you might be hosting out by the pool. And even if you're not hosting a party like that, the weather here in Encino is beautiful all the time.
It's
so
amazing.
just opening up this house and circulating through these spaces with all this light and air coming in.
100%.
I mean, this
the
is
breeze here is nice.
contemporary living. I mean, this
You
is the
did
way
it.
people want to do it today.
You did it.
Yeah. So the kitchen is a complete update, a complete transformation. This was an enclosed, single-purpose room. It is now open to the...
You reoriented it completely.
Completely. It's completely different. Introduce a 60-inch range here with refrigeration at the end.
Beverage fridge.
Wine refrigerator here. And we were able also to have a full walk-in dry goods storage food pantry. What we've done on this island is we've done an Ansax tile that has sort of like a corduroy stripe.
And what I also appreciate about this kitchen also is you have this kind of additional room, additional space, which you made almost to be like a prep kitchen.
It is.
And there's a coffee maker in there, and there's a bunch of kind of cool things.
My vision for this space was to create really kind of a multi-purpose space. You could use it as a breakfast room. You already have casual dining here. So I set it with a high top table, envisioning that perhaps kids would maybe be doing a project there after school or maybe some homework.
So Joe, I feel like I am at a hotel.
Well, I do too. We talked a lot about the connection between the inside of the house and the outside of the house, but that sort of required that we also make the outside of the house an incredibly compelling experience. When I'm thinking about a home, I'm always thinking about designing a home, I'm always thinking about how someone's going to actually live in the space. And what are the activities going to be as you entertain people when you're using it just on your own. And I wanted to create kind of a private resort type feeling here. We introduced this sort of daybed cabana. Expanded the pool deck to allow a little bit more sun lounging over here.
There's a lot of areas of seating on the property, which is really
lots
nice.
of little pockets. We have this tented outdoor covered dining area under, with a liner underneath. So it feels very much, like an interior space of the home, despite the fact that you're outdoor.
So it was already a really large lot, but I remember you also bumped out this extra space with this bridge, and the idea, if I remember correctly, was to have like Adirondack chairs around a fire pit for roasting marshmallows or having an after dinner cocktail, and it turned out great. Okay, so what I also love about this house is you were able to put in a sports court over here, and it really is perfectly placed and it's generously sized. So Joe, this house did not have a movie theater. And you and I both felt adding a movie theater to compete with new construction homes was a really important thing to do.
This is LA. There's a lot of people that are in the industry, and even those that aren't, you know, a big house like this, you want a dedicated theater. And so we were able to accommodate one here. We have a Dolby 8.2 surround sound system, 120-inch screen.
It's a very handsome room.
Yeah, I think it worked out well. If people didn't want a home gym before COVID, everybody wants one now. I wanted to give the room kind of an industrial vibe, so we went with sort of industrial pendants. We swapped out the doors and brought in a steel sash doors, similar to the ones that are on the front of the house, at the front door.
But frosted too, which was really cool.
Yeah, we wanted a little privacy still. And then we brought in a water bar over here so that you could grab some water. And in the bathroom, we went ahead and installed a full steam shower.
Yeah.
So it becomes really kind of like a wellness center.
One of my most favorite things about this house was this entire room that was basically a closet.
It's pretty incredible.
It is absolutely incredible, and I love what you did with this center island, which has all the different drawers for like the sunglasses and the jewelry.
Yep.
You have these mirrored wall. I mean, it's just the snow leopard carpet, the window, so the natural light in here when you're getting dressed. There's room for a desk if somebody wants to work in here as well. It's an incredible moment to this house.
It's sort of a whole wonderland behind the, you know, the disappearing invisible door. It is such a large space that even after all the closet storage, there is this room to have this lounge and to have a home workstation. So it really becomes, you know, not only a closet, but an entire glam room. So there is a little bit of optionality, but it really, you don't feel like you're locked in the closet at all. You're in a room that is very light, bright, airy, and a compelling place to spend time.
I am in awe of what you have done to this home. It is so beautiful and so chic and far exceeded anything that I thought it was going to be.